Welcome once more. It's time for Shelf Life Book Reviews online. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video, which hopefully you do find informative. And the book that I'm reviewing for you today is one you will very, very seriously consider purchasing. And the book is The Lost Tomb and Other Real-Life Stories of Bones, Burials, and Murder by Douglas Preston. This is published by Grand Central and it retails for $38. If you see the name Douglas Preston, you're going to say that's very familiar. Yes, Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child are noted for the very, very famous Agent Pendergast series, or Inspector Pendergast, whatever you want to call them. I think there are 20 books in that series, and they are all riveting books. And Douglas Preston, before he started the series with Lincoln Child, he actually was a writer of nonfiction, and then he went over to the fiction, and he's written several books by himself too. So the man really can write an excellent book, and his nonfiction books are just as engrossing as his fiction ones. And this, The Lost Tomb, features 12 fascinating stories of bones, burials, corpses, strange occurrences, cannibalism, you name it, it's in here. Most of these stories have appeared elsewhere, most of them in the New Yorker in the 90s, some in the early 2000s. But the very first story, The Monster of Florence, was actually taken from a book that Douglas Preston wrote with Mario Spezzi. He's an Italian journalist, and they wrote about a serial killer that was in Italy in the late 1970s, early 1980s, and responsible for killing, I believe, 14 people, mainly couples. The killer would see couples in their car making out in intimate situations, and he would go and kill them. Now, Douglas Preston and Mario Spezia saw that the Italian police really did not look that hard into finding the killer, and there were so many inconsistencies, just as though they wanted to really wash their hands of it. And when Douglas Preston started looking deeper into the case, he riled up the Italian police department to the point that they were going to arrest him, and they even thought that he might have been responsible, had something to do with the serial killings so many years back. So this is a fascinating look. Now, if you read this story, which is about 25 pages long, you might want to read the entire book, which was written, I believe, in 2007, and it's nearly 300 pages. It's more in depth, of course, than what's in here, but this gives you an idea of that case. Another case that Douglas Preston covers in here is the skiers at Dead Mountain. This took place in the Ural Mountains of Russia in 1959. 9 very competent skiers were up in the mountain, and when they went to investigate where the skiers had gone to, they found that their tents were abandoned, most of their clothes were left behind, and the skiers had vanished. So slowly they started finding the bodies of the skiers, and most of them maybe wore one sock or not too many clothing at all. And so it's a very fascinating thing. First they thought wild animals had killed them, then they even thought of the Yeti monster, even aliens from flying saucers had gotten them. It was really interesting. But Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child released a book in October of 2023 called Dead Mountain, and this was based on this story. So it's a fictionalized version of the real story. So that's another fascinating part of this book as well. It's the skiers at Dead Mountain. What really happened? I don't think they'll ever find out. But being in Russia, a lot of things were not leaked to the press. Another story in the book here is Trial by Fury, which looks at the Amanda Knox story. You recall her, where she supposedly killed a female roommate in Italy many years ago. And that's another story where Amanda Knox was totally railroaded. They were looking for a scapegoat, the Italian police, and when other law enforcement officers really checked into it, and they found out that there was no way that Amanda Knox was guilty, then they had to release her. But there was a firestorm of those on the internet who swore that she was guilty. They threatened the police officer who was behind helping with her release. They threatened his family. It was really a hailstorm of fury against those who helped set the girl free because she was innocent. So that's another story that's covered here. So, and there's many more, like The Curse of Oak Island, which is a History Channel weekly television show that's been on for several years now. And there are other stories, including The Mystery of Sandia Cave, Skeletons in the Closet, Cannibals of the Canyon, and much more. So if you're looking for a well-rounded book that's got everything in it, corpses, murders, serial killers, cannibals, pick this book up. The Lost Tomb is definitely a book you should add to your collection. So if you're a lover of true crime, this is the one right now to purchase. So if you do purchase it, let me know if you do agree with my review. And so thank you for watching. I will be back very soon with another great book. So until we meet again, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.